Okay, I think we're live. I'm gonna check on my laptop. Let's see. I'm trying to adjust you guys. Use my phone. Okay. Let me see if I can check. And mute my computer. Okay, it looks like we're live. So, I'm gonna pull up my questions. We can get going. Hopefully no one comes out in their underwear. After I put the kids in bed, they seem to want to continue coming out of their room. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure how to check the chat on here. Messages are visible. Aha! I see you, Mom. Okay, let me get to my questions. There they are. Okay. I'm gonna share this really quickly over on Facebook. Okay. Give me just a second. I'm just trying to figure out, I'm new to this. Have I been to Disneyland? Did your question say, how is your day and have you been to Disneyland? My day has been pretty good. And I have been to Disneyland a long time ago. Many moons ago. Okay. I think I have it shared over on Facebook, so people should be joining in as they want to. So I'm just gonna get going on questions. I'm really doing a live today because the week has been crazy. Cabin is sick with bronchitis, and he's been homesick the last 2 days, but before that, he wasn't sleeping good and I haven't been sleeping good, so honestly, I just didn't have time to do a vlog. So I figured I would jump in the deep end and do a live stream. So I just have some questions here. If you guys have other questions you want me to answer, you can just throw them down in the comments and I will try to answer those as best I can. I just pulled up some silly questions and I figure we'll go through them. The first one is, do you pump your own gas? Or do you know how to pump your own gas? And I thought this was a hilarious question because I'm like, is this a thing people don't know how to do? I'm like, yeah, I know how to pump my own gas. The next one was, do you really know all the words to your national anthem? And I was like, also, do people not know the words to the national anthem? Yes, I do. And maybe that's because I was in choir and we actually had to sing it. You guys, let me know how the audio is right here. I'm sitting in my kitchen, so I feel like the counters could make it really echoey. We'll just have to see how it goes. Next time I do it, I might have to choose a different spot. There are also is also going to be some background noise. My humidifier will kick on and off. So I thought this one was funny because it makes me think of how crazy the English language is. Do you spell gray, G-R-A-Y, or G-R-E-Y? So my question is, for you guys, do you have a specific way you spell it? I interchange them. I'm not like, I don't stick to one spelling. I swap back and forth depending on how I feel. How far away from your birthplace do you live? I live 1,698 miles from where I was born. So a long ways. Okay, so now we're just gonna go through some either or questions. These are gonna be kind of like rapid fire. I'm just gonna read them off, give my answer. Chicken or beef? Chicken for sure. Coke or Pepsi? I choose Pepsi. Exceptional strength or intelligence? Definitely intelligence. I mean, strength in certain situations comes in handy, but intelligence comes in handy in a lot of situations. Forgiveness or vengeance? Forgiveness, obviously. Free healthcare, free education? Neither. Nothing in life is free. Halloween or Valentine's Day? I could take or leave either one. If I had to choose, it would be Valentine's Day. iOS or Androids? iOS. Meat or fish? Meat for sure. Monopoly or chess? Honestly, I don't like either that much. Chess is okay. I'm just not that into it. So maybe Monopoly? I don't know. Nike or Adidas? I'd have to say Adidas, even though, again, I don't really care. Stripes or polka dots? Definitely stripes. I feel like polka dots come in and out of style. Stripes are always kind of a staple. Summer or winter? Summer. Who are we kidding? Texting or phone calls? This one's hard. Usually texting, but sometimes I really get a hankering to get on the phone and talk for like 4 hours. Vanilla or chocolate? Really depends on how I feel. Vanilla's always good though. What artistic endeavors have you tried and decided you're bad at? Drawing. I've never really tried painting much, but I would imagine I'm not good at that either, which is funny because my grandparents are both artists on my mom's side. What current world events are troubling to you? Oh, are you saying I'm not good at crocheting, Mom? I feel like I was decent at crocheting when I did it. Current world events that are troubling, definitely the stuff going on in New York. I think that should be troubling to everyone. What is hard about being a parent? I honestly think the hardest thing for me about being a parent is just the non-stop noise and stimulation. I'm fairly introverted and I really enjoy the quiet. But my situation is a little different because I homeschool. So, what is one thing you'd rather pay someone to do than do yourself, and why? Laundry. 100%. If I could pay someone to do the laundry, I would. But I'm also a cheapskate, so I won't. What is the last movie that you saw at the cinema? Who says cinema? Is this do people say that some places in our country, or is that, I don't know. It's like buggy. People down south say buggy for grocery cart. Is cinema one of those things? I'm unfamiliar with people calling it that. But we saw Bumblebee, and it was good. The weirdest thing that you've seen in your life. Maybe some of the people who were there at the time can remind me if this is actually something that happened or some weird thing I made up. But I remember when we were kids and we were at my aunt's house and there was this snake in the front yard. It was, if I recall correctly, it was a fairly big snake. And it literally climbed the tree in the front yard. Like went around the tree and up the tree. Somebody tell me if I remember that correctly, because that's one of the weirdest things for sure. Ooh, what is your favorite quote? I have lots of them. However, and I don't even know if they're like considered quotes. I mean, they're quotes obviously, but they're kind of long. So it's almost like a monologue. It would either be Mother Teresa's Do It Anyways or The Man in the Arena, which I believe is by Theodore Roosevelt. And then, what is the first concert that you ever attended? And if I recall correctly, it was a Carmen concert way back when I was a kid. I don't recall seeing one before that. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. And then after that, as a teenager, I went and saw the Newsboys with a friend that she took me for her birthday, and it was really fun. What was your favorite TV show as a child? It was the Gummy Bears, which I feel like doesn't get enough credit. No one talks about that show. People talk about the Care Bears and stuff, but the Gummy Bears, in my opinion, was way better than the Gummy Bears. That is about all the questions I threw on here, and I got through them much faster than I thought I would. I thought I was going to be off on tangents the whole time. So let me see if I can find a couple more. I'm going to check over on Facebook, see if it's... I was going to live stream on Facebook, and maybe I'll just share this over there when I'm done. I thought this was a good one. Are you more likely to avoid conflict or engage it head on? This one really depends for me. I definitely don't mind dealing with conflict if I find it necessary, but I won't if it seems pointless. Meaning, if the person's not going to change their mind anyway, no matter what information you give them, then there's not any reason in engaging, or if it's something I can easily let go. Are you named after anyone? No, I'm not. I don't think. Can you close your eyes and raise your eyebrows? I'm pretty sure I can. I naturally talk with one eyebrow up, like that. Let me try. Yep. Can't everyone do that? Unless you have Botox. No, I'm not. I'm not named after anyone. Can you touch your nose with your tongue? I feel like that question is just to try and get people to do it on video. No, I can't. Can you whistle? Yes, I can, but only okay. I'm not very good at it. Did you dream last night? I think I did, but I don't remember it. Do you believe ignorance is bliss? I feel like that's a really deep question. I tend to want to say kind of yes, but then again kind of no, because I'm a truth seeker person. I prefer to know stuff. Do you belong to any warehouse stores like Costco, etc.? No, but I wish I did. I wish there was one in our area, and then I would. Do you eat breakfast every morning? No, I'm super inconsistent. Sometimes I do, sometimes I do not. Do you have a catchphrase? I asked my husband if I have a catchphrase, and he said, legit. And I definitely go through phases where I say that a lot, but I don't think it's my catchphrase. I don't know that I have one. Do you have pets? Yeah, we have schnauzers. Schnauzies. Do you know a hoarder? I plead the fifth. I'm just kidding. I don't think so. Do you sleep with the lights on or off? Does anyone sleep with the lights on? Somebody educate me here. Off. I mean, I leave like a bathroom light on for my kids. Plus, you know, if a burglar breaks into your house, it's better to have the lights off because you're familiar with your own house and strangers aren't. So you should keep your lights off. That way you have the element of surprise if anyone ever breaks in. That's a pro tip, guys. Do you take any pills or medications daily? Yes, I take supplements daily. When I remember. I usually do, but I forget sometimes. Have you ever been in a beauty pageant? No. Have you ever been Olive Garden? Yes, I love Olive Garden. Soup, salad, and breadsticks. Have you ever had to wear a uniform to school? No, I have not. That would be interesting. My kids have. Have you ever suffered a fracture? No. I've never broken anything. I mean, I'm not superstitious or anything, but knock on wood. Have you ever taken karate lessons? No. Although I did have an uncle who was really good at Taekwondo when we were growing up, and he taught us that a little bit. Have you read any of Harry Potter, Hunger Games, or the Twilight series? I've read 2 out of 3 of this series. Hunger Games is maybe my favorite. I don't know. How are you feeling right now? That's a question on here. Ooh, awkward, because I feel like doing a live stream is awkward. At least when I'm making vlogs, I can, like, if I say something stupid in post, I can just edit it out and act like it never happened. How difficult is it for you to be honest, even if your words may be hurtful or unpopular? Not very difficult. For one, I think there are ways to say things that people disagree with and still be kind. How do you replenish your energy? I feel like I never do. I just try to sleep a lot because I feel like I need a lot of sleep, but I still feel like I'm always tired. How has your birth order / characteristics of siblings affected you? I find this really interesting because, you know, there's certain stereotypes for birth order of people. And I think I'm a very stereotypical middle child, and so is my husband. And I feel like I can pick out middle children other places. Last person who asked me to guess their birth order, I said, I think you're a middle child, and I was right. How does music matter to you? I mean, music's pretty sweet for picking up your mood and stuff sometimes. And when you're feeling like down, you know, you listen to a song and it just like gets you, you know what I mean? How many days could you last in solitary confinement? I don't feel like there's enough information to answer this question. Do I have books to read? Do I have like things to do? Is there music? If I had a couple of those things, I'd be okay for a little bit. How many oceans have you swum in? Is that correct use of that word, swum? It would be swum or swam. I'm not sure. 1. Nope. Well, maybe, I don't know. I've been in like a bay somewhere else. I don't know if that counts. Swim, swam, swum. Swum seems so weird. How often do you doodle? Really depends on how bored I am. Not very often though. How old were you when you found out that Santa wasn't real? I never believed in Santa, so young. If you could change something about your home without worry about expense or mess, what would you do? I'd transport it somewhere warm. Ooh, if you could have if you could have lunch with one famous person, who would it be? It doesn't say dead or alive on here. Oh, this is a hard one. I shouldn't have read it because now I can't think of one. I just heard my kid down the hall say, Toby Mac. Go to sleep. If you could live forever, would you rather stay one age forever or get older? I'd rather stay one age because like one of the main benefits of getting older is just gaining knowledge, but you don't have to like physically age to gain knowledge. So just stay the same age. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live? Somewhere in Montana or Alaska. Yeah. Or Maine. Yeah, one of those places. If you had a big win in the lottery, how long would you wait to tell people? Some people I would never tell, so there would probably be only a small handful. And then everyone else would just wonder how I got like to be able to live in the middle of nowhere. I think this one's interesting. If you had to change your first name, what would you change it to? And honestly, I have no idea. There are names I liked when I was picking names for children, but it would be really weird to change your own first name. I mean, unless you hated it, which I don't. Is your father bald? No, my dad is not bald. A lot of these are scale of 1 to 10, like rate yourself on stuff, and I'm just like, eh. Cats or dogs? Dogs, of course. another either or question. What do you find yourself always procrastinating? I'm always procrastinating on laundry as well as various other things. I'm a procrastinator. I confess. What drains your energy? Lots of things. People are one of them. Ooh, what flavor of tea do you enjoy? It's actually up here. This one, hot cinnamon spice. It's delicious. You put some like On Guard in it, which is an essential oil, with some honey. It's good stuff. What has been the hardest thing for you to face or learn? Lots of things have been difficult. What inspires you? People who overcome major obstacles and do it without like turning hard. You know, like people who, like they say, water makes a potato soft and an egg hard. People who stay soft regardless of the world. What is at the top of your bucket list? I don't know. Spend more time in the sun. What is on the walls of the room you're in? Very little, because I also procrastinate on putting things on the wall. So like that's basically it, is those things right there. What is your guilty pleasure that you enjoy too much to give up? Starbucks periodically and just coffee in general. But I don't feel guilty about it. So there's nothing wrong with it, right? And every other year they're saying coffee's good for you, coffee's not good for you. You know what? It makes me happy, and being happy is good for me. What is something about yourself that you hope will change, but probably never will? You guys are saying chocolate. I also don't feel guilty about chocolate. So. Then I'm a night owl. I'm trying to change it, but I go through spurts where it gets better, and then I'm like, and then it gets worse. What is something most people don't know about you? I feel like most people know most things about me because I'm kind of a fairly open person, but let me think. I have really long toes. You might not know that. Most people who know me know that though. What is something that amazes you? I think it's really amazing the development of babies in utero. My sister's pregnant right now, so I've been kind of like tapping back into that. When I was first I live cold weather. You mean are you trying to say I love cold weather? That would not be true. Huh? Who, what? I don't know what she's saying. Her mother? My mother? Oh, amazes me. When I was pregnant, I remember reading each week the things that were developing on the baby and just being amazed at how, 9 months is a long time, but it's really not a long time to develop a human being. So now I've been kind of looking at that stuff. My kids are like, my youngest is 8, so it's been a while for me. What is something that scares you that you would never ever try? Skydiving. I will probably never try skydiving. I will never try diving with sharks. I'm really kind of a fraidy cat in general, so all of like the dangerous stuff, I'll skip it. Don't put me down for that. What is something you're gifted at? I'm not sure. Maybe sometimes I'm good at writing. What is the furthest away place that you've been? Well, it depends on where we're counting from. Like from home, it's probably, I think, what, Ohio? I feel like some people, what is the first movie you remember seeing? Do people remember that? I don't remember. No clue. What is the first thing to do when you get home? Take off my layers of clothes, like jacket, boots, scarf. Yeah, there's like a process when I get home. What is the last book you read? Relentless Optimism. It was my January book and it was really good. I'm actually going to be posting my review of that on Wednesday. I've decided that my book reviews every month are going to go up the first Wednesday of the, no, not Wednesday. I was thinking Wednesday. I decided on Sunday. So every month I'm going to be doing a book review for the previous month's book, and I've decided that the first Sunday of the month I'm going to put that up because that's the day kind of in between when I'm already putting up other videos. It gives me a chance to record and edit that video. So the first Sunday of February, my book review on Relentless Optimism will go up. What is the name of your favorite restaurant? I had to think really hard about this. I don't know. I really like Cheesecake Factory, but I don't live near one, so it's kind of hard to say if that's my favorite. I ate at Fleming's when I was back home in California, and it was amazing. It was the best food I've ever had. But can you really call a restaurant your favorite restaurant if you can only afford to eat at it like once a year? What is the thing you change a TV channel with? I assume this question is to try and ascertain like what you call the remote. I call it a remote. Some people call it a clicker. I don't know. Are there other things people call it? I call it a remote. What is the worst grade you got on a test? I'm sure I failed a test at some point. I'm a terrible test taker. What is under your bed? A lot of stuff. School books, like winter clothes, a first aid kit, lots of things. What is your eye color? Brown, almost black. Favorite candle scent? That also really depends on the day, but generally speaking, it would be leaves. Favorite sport? Favorite sport to play is tennis. Favorite sport to watch is soccer. The time of day where it's quiet. I also really enjoy coffee in the morning. Yeah, that's fun too. What kind of books do you like to read? This one, because most people like interesting fictions, and I do like that sometimes. Like I said, I've read the Twilight series and the Mocking whatever series. Hunger Games. Yeah. Couldn't even remember the name. I actually really enjoy personal growth books though, and biographies and autobiographies probably more. What kind of car do you drive? I drive an SUV. What position do you sleep in? I'm mostly a side sleeper. What takes the biggest chunk of your paycheck? Bills? Doesn't that take the biggest chunk of everyone's paycheck? What type of music do you dislike the most? Like probably hard rock and roll. I don't know though. There's lots of kinds of music I'm sure I've never heard. The last thing you bought, a remote control for my big camera. I have this really fancy camera. Hang on, I'll show you. I have my camera that we record our vlogs on, but I have this camera, and it's basically been sitting in retirement for years. And I want to break it back out, and probably the easiest thing for me to do is use it with a tripod and a remote to get some of the cute photos I've been wanting to get, so I ordered that today. Oh, that was not completely true. I bought pizza after that. What was the name of your first pet? The first one I remember was a dog named Rosie. Favorite subject in high school was choir. I was gonna say English. As far as like your standard subjects, it was English. First ever cell phone, it was a Nokia, wasn't everyone's? It was like a little tiny one. I remember when people first started texting. That makes me feel old. Buddy. Oh, did we have Buddy before Rosie? Okay, first dog was Buddy. I guess that's true. Yeah, I remember when people first started texting and you had to like push the buttons over and over again to get to your letter. And I was thinking, why would you do this? Why would you just not call the person? This takes 10 times longer than calling and asking your darn question. Oh, how the times have changed. What word do you use to address a group of people? Generally, y'all, which is really weird because I'm not from the South, but apparently I've spent enough time with people from the South that it's just rubbed off on me. And I like it. I think it's warm. What would you name your daughter if you had one? Keely, because I have one. Well, making an entrance into a party. Do you make your presence known? Do people go to parties still? Oh, I'm just kidding. Or do you slip in and look for someone you know? I slip in and look for someone I know. When was the last time you got in a fist fight? I don't think I've ever been in a fist fight. Where would you want to retire? Somewhere warm, but that probably won't happen because I'm pretty sure my husband wants to retire somewhere cold. Which store would you choose to max out your credit card? Well, I try not to max out credit cards, but would be a discount store like TJ Maxx or something. Every time I go in there, they ask if I want to get a credit card, and I'm like, no, I don't, because I don't have the self-control that would be necessary to not use it. Best teacher you ever had? Interestingly enough, I don't really remember his name, but it was an English teacher. And my mom. I was homeschooled a lot, so my mom was a good teacher too. Worst boss you ever had? I worked at Gottschalk's for a while, back before it shut down, and the manager I had there was terrible. For sure the worst. Like most managers, if you kind of know what you're doing, you want your employees to, enjoy work as long as they're working and doing what they're supposed to do. This manager, I had a friend that worked there, and we were both hard workers. We were not, slackers. We weren't hiding, trying not to work. But you would have to obviously like stock racks with things. It's retail. So we would stock racks, kind of near each other so that we could chat while we were working. And we literally would hear her all over the radio to tell whoever was in the area to like split us up into separate sections just so that we couldn't talk while we were working. It's very bizarre. Who performs the most random acts of kindness out of everyone you know? That's a good question. I know a lot of people who do that kind of thing a lot, so it would be hard to compare. Who was the last person you ate dinner with? My husband and kids. Who sent the last text message you received? Also probably my husband. Who would you tell first if you found a dead body in your garden? I don't have a garden, but I would probably tell the police first. Would you rather always be overdressed or always be underdressed? Probably underdressed. This is a bizarre question. Would you rather be a lonely genius or an idiot with a lot of friends? I think I'd have to say it. I don't know, because I don't keep that many friends in general. But I wouldn't want to not have friends. I maybe would have to say idiot. Would you rather play 10 different instruments beautifully or speak 10 different languages fluently? Languages. I'm terrible at other languages, but it would for sure be languages. Like you hear the stories about people who are fluent in another language and they'll be in a situation where people don't realize that they speak their language and they'll, you know what I mean? Have you seen those posts? They eavesdrop on someone talking about them and then like say something back in the other people's native language. I think that would be fun. Like when you go get your nails done and they're talking and you have no idea what they're saying. I would very much like to know that. Would you rather deal with a crying baby or a saucy and spoiled child? Who wrote this? A crying baby. Would you rather do cardio or lift weights? I prefer lifting weights, but I'm in a phase where I'm trying to do more cardio. Some of these are weird, guys. Would you rather have a friend who's very blunt with their words or a friend who tells a lot of white lies? A blunt friend for sure. Would you rather have a live-in massage therapist or a live-in chef? Chef for sure. You can go get a massage somewhere, but like, could you imagine if you didn't have to cook all the time? That would be nice. Ooh, would you rather live in a place where it's always raining or a place where the sun never goes down? A place where the sun never goes down. I'm pretty sure I could live with it. Would you rather not be able to go out in the daytime or not be able to go out at the nighttime? Not be able to go out at nighttime. I can hang out at home. Daytime, I need though. Last one. Would you rather walk funny or talk funny? I think walk funny. Because then at least if you're sitting still, no one knows. All right, guys. That's it for this video. I hope it wasn't too awkward, and hopefully I can figure out how to get off of here. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video, which actually will be tomorrow. We're going to put up a Fitness Friday video, which is just going to be us kind of updating you on